welcome back, my grade threes. I hope we are happy to be back. I come your way again this time at this hour, and I hope you enjoyed our unit 3.1.2.3, and I'm very confident that you are learning something from it, even though we've done that basically again and again in class, but that is just to refresh your memory. So we are in here again to continue with our unit 3 to just complete it. Okay, so here we are to plan and we are to make. Right, we have 3 keywords. That is plan, that is process, and that is sequence. Okay, so when we look at this, a programmer makes a plan before they start the work. So planning is getting your structure, okay, thinking of how to do something or how to achieve something. With the process is the step-by-step approach, or it is the way through which you are going to execute your plan. With a sequence, the sequence is going to be also the order, right? The order. You don't have to how to skip. Okay, so it goes in that way as arranged. You plan, you process, and then it becomes a sequence. Okay, so here we say a programmer makes a plan before they start work. In class, I told you, without a plan, your program might fail. Okay, if you write a program without a plan, the program may not give you the expected output. Okay, so you decide the sequence of commands. Okay, I've mentioned sequence. I even gave an example using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is the sequence. So you record your ideas so that you don't forget. You can write them down on a paper, in a book, and etc. And you can also share your ideas with others in case you are finding any difficulty, in executing or getting your program right. So in here we'll be making a new program. In this lesson, you will make a plan for a new program. The program will get a word from the user. Okay, so if we say get a word from the user, it means that we have to take input from the user, meaning the user should type something. To look at the headline, here we have how to plan a program that changes input into output. The same thing we've been doing, from 3.1.2.3, right? We have to get a word. So we are getting. So we'll let the person key in or enter. And when somebody should enter something, we are going to use the ask block. Ask what's your name, right? Okay, so it will say the length of the word. When I say the length of the word, let me write a word like apple. Look at this, apple. So with this apple, apple has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. So we say how many letters are there in apple? We say apple has 5 letters. So it means that whatever the person is going to type in the input box, we should be able to tell the number of letters that the person typed. And we did this in class. Which block did we use? Can you tell me silently? I'm listening. Okay, so I heard you. You said the letter of. Oh no, that was wrong. The answer should be length of. Length of. I just reminded you, I took you back to class again. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so that means it will say how many letters there are in the word. Okay, so with this, okay, so with this, we'll be using the operator. Okay, it is also an operator that is length of. So since I have apple, this is going to print 5. Okay, length of apple is 5. Okay, because apple has 5 letters or 5 characters. Okay, so here we have to make a plan. The program plan set out the main commands of the program. It set out input, processes, and output. The processes are steps that turn input into output. here is a plan for this program. Okay, so the input is getting the word or typing the word. The process is the finding of the letters in the number in the word, and then the output is the what is the saying. So you should always not forget, input is what we type. Input is what we type into the program for it to be used for something. Process is what is going to be refined, or what is going to be to be executed, and then the output is going to bring us what the result is. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So here, I'm going to remove these, and then I will say that type any fruit, and I will tell you the number of letters. Okay, so with this, what do you think I'm going to do again? Using the ask block, right? Using the ask block. Okay, that is right. So let me pick that. I put that, and then I want to let us see what happened. So since we want, so here, enter, I'll say enter name of fruit. So since I have this, I have to get the letters of the fruit. So we find them here. I hope you know that, right? So we have addition, subtraction. When I come down, we have length of, okay, and then we have letter of, right? I told you letter of is going to give us the what? Assuming I have apple like this, so letter 1 of is going to give us the what? The first letter. I should make here 3. The third letter is P. Okay, but in this lesson we are dealing with length of, so I'm going to pick length of. I put length of here. Okay, and then since I want whatever is going to be typed, I have to change apple, and I have to put in answer like that. By now I know you've grasped the whole concept again. So yes, enter the name of the fruit. So I'll type mango. Yeah, that is mango. I typed in mango. So 5. Very well. So let's count mango. Let's count mango. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That is mango. Okay, so let's hop on. We've been able to do that as well. So in this program, they just brought, misarranged. It hasn't even been fitted together, and we're being asked to just fit them together. We've done this already. Okay, so we already know how this is done. So I'll leave them here. Okay, let me continue. 3.5 here, input forever. This is how to make a program with a loop. Okay, I've explained this in lesson 1 and 2 already. I used examples. Since you watched, I know by now you have the idea, you know how to even do that. We've done that also in class. I mentioned loop again, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so we have the forever loop. I told you this loop, it runs forever until you click on the red or the stop button. Okay, you know the green is start, the red is stop, just like the traffic light. So the program you planned and made does one task, but sometimes we want a program to do a task many times. That is what I explained, doing the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again until we click stop to stop. Okay, so we can use a loop to do it many times. So commands inside the forever loop repeat until the program stops. So this is a C block. Okay, this is a C block. So we put everything together, okay? Inside, we put it into it, and then it start running again and again and again. Okay, so here we are being told, okay, to make another plan. Jack wants to write a program that doubles any number. So assuming maybe I enter 10, meaning if I should double 10, okay, I have to what? I have to multiply by 2. Multiply by 2, that is going to double 10. If it is 2, doubling of 2 is multiplied by 2. I get 2. Okay? And then Jack wants the program to repeat these actions until the user decides to stop. Deciding to stop is when they click on the stop button. Say I can multiply any number by 2. Ask the user to input the question mentioned or the plan mentioned that. Ask the user to input, meaning we'll be using the ask what is your name block, that is the sensing, and then multiply the answer by 2, meaning we'll be using the operator multiply. Okay, multiply block, and then we'll output, we'll say hello, but we'll change the text in it. So which action should be repeated? That is a question for you. Which action should happen only once? That is a question for you. Copy and complete this plan to show the actions in the right sequence. So before the loop and inside the loop. So what do you think? What do you think should go inside the loop, and what do you think should go out of the loop? Let's build it. When we build it, we'll know what goes in and then what goes out. So here, okay, I'm going to say that enter any number and I will multiply it by 2. So here I'll clean here. Okay, enter the number. So enter the number. Yeah, so I have to change these. Okay, I have to change this, and I have to get operator multiplies. Okay, this is what multiplication, and I'll put 2 here. And what do I do next? I get answer, right? Because I'm using sensing. I get answer. Let me put answer in this before I put it here. Okay, so looking at this, there is no loop. There is no loop, or there is no forever in this. So let's see what happens. Let me run this. So enter any number, and I'll multiply by 2 the number, and then the number that is entered, okay, and then multiplied by 2. So let's see this program. So enter any number, and I'll multiply by 2. So I enter 30. See 30? Yes. And I click on this. Yes, I have 60. I see it stops. So what do I have to do? So what do I have to do for it to what? Keep on asking me? I have to do something to make the program keep on asking me again. Enter a number, multiply by 2, and I enter, and then it says, and I enter, and then it says, and I enter, and then it says, and then it says, and then it says. Okay, so if I want to do that, I'm told to use the forever loop. Okay, so this is a forever loop. Okay, so which one should go inside? Because I'm being told to be accent, then it means the say. Okay, let me separate this ones. So this is going to ask. Okay, this is going to display that you just put in the number. Okay, and I'll do this. I can decide to even take this one out and put this one here. If I want, I can put it as not wrong, right? But I can also decide to say, okay, the ask block should be in the loop, and then this result should be inside. So let's look at this. I'll put this one, okay, like this. So when it starts, it asks this one time. So let's see. It says enter any number, multiply by this. So let me enter the number 67. I click on this 134. It says enter the number again, right? I click 9. You see, it asks and asks and asks again, right? But if I stop this, okay, I stop this, assuming I want this block to also be showing enter any number and I'll multiply by 2. Let me add this again to it. So you now see that it will show again and again. Before, it showed just for once. So look at this again. Enter any number and I'll multiply by 2. I enter 2 and then it says 4. It will say it again. Enter any number and I'll multiply by 2. Did you see that? But if I should take this one out, yes, and I should put it back where it was. I should put this one again. This one will run only one time because it is out of the forever. So look at this. Enter any number and I'll multiply by 2. So see this. So I'll enter the number and I'll click this. Now it says enter a number because these ones are the only ones in the forever, right? So that is that for this. That is that for this. So the before the loop and then inside the loop. Yes, we've now seen what goes out and then what comes in, which I told you they can all be in the loop. It is still going to give you the same output or the same result that we are expecting. Okay, so they give us the blocks here to rearrange, and we've done that already, so we don't need this. Okay, so we only stop the program by using the stop button. Okay, the stop, right? That is a red stop button, and we start using the green flag. Okay, so for the last unit in the unit 3, what do you expect? Okay, what do you expect? Okay, so we have to think about output, okay, the way we expect them, right? So we have to check that a program does what we expect. There is no way I should be clicking 1 + 1 and the program should be telling me it is 5. My expectation is not what the program is doing. Therefore, I must go back to run a test to see what was happening. So after you have made a program, you must test it. Okay, so you test it to make sure that it works correctly. How will you know the program works correctly? Okay, you have to decide what the right output would be. We have to run the program as it gives the result you expect. That is how to test. Okay, when we write, we have to make sure it is in that particular sequence. Okay, we have to run it to see that it is giving the expected output. If it doesn't, we have to go back and check what is the reason. So testing simply means what? Running our program to ensure it is giving the expected output. Okay, yes, so let's look at this. Layla wants to write a program with a loop. The program will take names as input. And the moment you hear input, you know that you are to get the ask block, right? Yes, for the person to type. And then the program will output how many letters there are in each name. We've done this already. Length of, and then we had loop. So it is either we use the repeat until, or the forever loop, right? This table shows input to the program. So we have Layla. You know, when we count Layla, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Layla have 5, or Layla has what? 5 letters. Min has 3 letters. Jack has 4 letters. Asha has 5 letters as well. Okay, so that is going to be the expected output for them. This one says complete Layla's table to show each expected output. Add some more rows to the table with more names, so you can do that by yourself. But let's try this program. Okay, we have to write a program where when you type your name, it tells us the number of letters. We've done this. I didn't want us I wouldn't want us to do this, but let's give it a try. Again. Okay, so I will just change this. I will say maybe enter a name. So I'll put enter a name here. Okay, enter a name, and I'll tell you, and I will tell the number of letters, right? So here I'll put enter a name. Okay, so here, so we'll always have to use the length of, right? We'll use the length of what? We'll yes, put the answer here. So let's try enter a name, and I will tell you the number, right? So remember, we placed it in the forever loop again. So let's type Layla. So yes, we typed Layla, you can see. So Layla will tell us, oh, we multiplied by 2. We shouldn't have multiplied by 2. So let me delete this, and I'll pick length of. Very good. So we put this here. Okay, so let's run it again. Enter a name, and I'll multiply by 2, right? So enter a name. So let me enter Layla, like that. But you see this is Layla, right? When I click this, it says 5. So let me enter another one. Enter name Min. It says 3. And I should enter Asha. Asha says 5, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, so we've been able to do this program. So let's continue. So we have this, the wrong sequence. At the moment you don't arrange the program well, it is not going to give us the expected output. Okay, it is not going to give us the expected output. Okay, so here this program should say how many letters there are in a name. Okay, so make the program, try it out, what happens. Realize, what do you think will happen if we run this particular program? I hope you know it is going to run only for once, and even this is wrong. The sequence is wrong. So meaning in testing, it is not giving us the expected output, because this one is say I will show how many letters in your name. Okay, this is correct, but this is wrong. Why is this wrong? Can you tell me? Because the input, okay, has been positioned, at the last part, instead of the X being in between. It should be in between the say and the say. It has been brought to the last part, right? So the sequence is wrong. The output is going to be wrong, and as you can see clearly. So let's get down to the to the second one. This is going to give us a loop error. Let's see what happens. So here, this one says, what's your name? What do you think is wrong about this program as well? What do you think is wrong about this program? Can you see there is something wrong about this program? Yes, the X that is supposed to be in the loop is rather, out of the loop. So when I type, yes, even though this is saying, it is just going to say, I will say how many letters in your name. So the program is going to be asking, what's your name? And then you just type your name. Before it comes to say, I will say how many letters. The program is not making sense. It is not making sense at all. You can see that the sequence is wrong. So look at this. I should put this same program. I should put this same program here. You see that the program doesn't, it is not making sense. It is not making sense. Look at this. Let me move this, and let me put this here, and I'll move this down here. So look at what happens. Let me run this. It says enter your name. What should I enter my name for? Why should I? Okay, Yogi. Okay, so I entered my name, Yogi. So let me click this. It says enter a name, and I will tell you. You see, even though it is as if it is giving us the what? The number of letters. But the logic is wrong. Okay, the arrangement is wrong, because how can you ask me to enter my name and after come and tell me I should enter a name again and you will tell me the number of letters, and after you give me the letters, even though one way or the other the program is giving us the result we need, but the logic, the sequence, the arrangement is wrong. It is as if having 1, 2, 3 and 4 as a correct sequence, okay, as a correct sequence. And now we've changed, we've brought 3, 1, 4 and 2, okay, even though it is giving us, it's as if you are working math. We know the answer is 7, but you have a wrong formula. So how did you arrive at 7? So the sequence is wrong, but the answer is correct. That makes it wrong. So we always have to read the requirement and make sure that we are doing what is right. So when you read this, it says try it out. What happens? The wrong commands are inside the loop. The program will not give the what output that you expect. Yes, right? Even though it gave what I type, but it came to ask me to type my name later, which I wasn't able to. But if I type maybe Amma, it will bring 3. But what is the 3 for? It doesn't make sense, right? Okay, so you have a test in here to do. It says Layla wants a program that inputs a number and then shows the number minus 12. So you know what to do. We've done this consecutively, okay? So you have to maybe try your hands on it. So we are to make a table with input and expected output. So you make the program and then test it to see if you get the right output. Okay, so let's move on. So what have we learned? What have we learned so far? Let's see what we've learned. A student wants to make a program, okay? So we've learned about input, where we said we'll be using the ask block, and then output we use the say, or we use we use the look, or we use the sound, right? So we actually know what inputs are, what outputs are. Inputs are data or whatever that we send into the computer, or what somebody types using the keyboard when the program acts. Output is what we see the program brings out, okay? Assuming I have 1 plus 1, the output is going to be 2 because that is the result. Make a plan for this program showing input, processing and output, right? So I gave you an example. I have 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 or equals 2. 1 and 1 is the input, plus is the process, and then 2 is the output. That is the plan. Question 3. Which of these operators should you use for this program? Okay, so let me look at the program. The program is input a number, output the number divided by 3. Okay, so maybe if I type the number as 5, make sure to divide 5 by 3. So how do you think we'll do this? Or which of the operators seen here you think will be used to do that? Do you think letter 3 of answer? No, that is wrong. Do you think it's going to be answer divided by 3? Yes, if that is what you are thinking. Because if I should input, okay, maybe 5, it becomes 5 divided by 3. Okay, that will be correct. Those thinking it is join is wrong, because join is used to join two things together, either two words or yes, two numbers. You want to join them together, fine, right? So let's give it a try. Let's give this particular program a try. We want to divide. So here I'm going to separate this and I'm putting this here. I'm going to ask enter a number and I will divide by 3. So I put this one here, enter the number. I will say enter the number. Okay, so after the number is being entered, let me put this one here, let me take this one. So I have to get an operator, right? So division is here, so I'll pick this one off. I'll put the answer, always put it this way, and I will put 3 here, right? Yeah, so let me run this, enter a number, and I'll divide by 3. So let me enter 9. So you can see I entered 9. So I click on for us to see. It says 3, and it's true. If I should divide 9 by 3, okay, the answer is 3, because 3 goes into 9 3 times, right? So this is how to write this simple program. That is how to write this simple program. Okay. Oh, what is happening? Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so that is that. So I think I'm seeing a review activity here. Main wants to make a program to do this. Input a name, okay, output the first letter, okay, of the name. Keep asking for names and outputting the first letter until the user ends the program. The commands will go inside the loop, and I hope you can do this. So we'll have to get the name from the user, and then we'll have to get the first letter. And I told you, what do we use? Letter dash of. You understand? Letter of. So let's give this a try as well. Let's give this a try. Okay, so here I'll say input a name, or maybe enter a name. Enter a name, and I will tell you the second letter in the name. So here, so enter the name, right? I should say enter the name. So I have to change this operator, right? And I have to get letter of. So with the letter of, I told you, with this letter of, the number that you see here shows the what? The position of the letter. So if I should write AMA like this, A is 1, M is 2, and then A is 3. So if I should put maybe 2 here, you know that 2 is going to be M. So let me make this as 2, and letter 2 of, this is the word that will be typed, because we are typing, okay, or we are taking input, so we have to use answer. Okay, so let me take this, let's run this, enter a name, and I'll tell you second letter. So I write Araceli. Yes, is this. Yes, so Araceli, the second letter is going to be R. So let's see if we are right with the R. Let me run this. Oh yes, so that is that. I should change this to the first letter, that is 1. Let's run it again, and I should write this a free here like this. We know that a free A is the first letter, so let me run this. Okay, yes, so the first letter is A. So that is how to complete this task, as simple as that. All right, so that is what we've learned so far. Okay, yeah, these are examples. So far, how are you going to rate yourself? Okay, how are you going to rate yourself, your progress? Okay, you're able to answer the test questions, or you found the blocks that was needed. Okay, so you have to be grading yourself after this lesson. So anyways, I think that is yours to decide. Okay, lesson 4 or chapter 4 or unit 4, right? We'll be meeting in our next lesson, in our next video for unit 4. Until we meet again and I come your way, this is the A+Oic. Bye bye.